If this happened to a Republican, CNN will have a live truck outside their house, reporters screaming questions, headlines blowing up. But when it's a Democrat, you get dead silence. The media doesn't report anymore. They protect. And today, we're exposing every bit of it. Let's start with what just went down on live TV.
We wanted to make sure that there aren't price increases, Margaret, and thus far there have been no price increases. Everything has been alarmist. That the inflation numbers are actually dropping. We saw the first drop of inflation in 4 years. The inflation numbers last week, they were very pro-consumer.
Right. But you listen to earnings calls just like we do. Mm-hmm. You know what Walmart's saying, what Best Buy's saying, and what Target are saying.
But Margaret, I also know what Home Depot and Amazon are saying. I know what the South China Morning Post wrote within the past 24 hours, that 65% of the tariffs will likely be eaten by the Chinese producers.
The reality is there will either be less inventory or things at higher prices or both.
When we were here in March, you said there was going to be big inflation. There hasn't been any inflation. Actually, the inflation numbers are the best in 4 years. So why don't we stop trying to say this could happen and wait and see what does happen?
Oh, my gosh. My guy hit us with the quote of the year. He need to go ahead and put that on the shirt. Scott Bessent exposes CBS host Margaret Brennan. Yes. I love that quote. Let's stop trying to say this could happen and wait and see what does. That's a Treasury official calmly exposing Brennan, the CBS host, using her own quote, actually. And just like that, if y'all could have seen the extended clip, she was definitely smirking, but silence, no pushback. I ain't seeing no extra coverage on, just awkward smirks and fake smiles. If a Republican had done that, MSNBC would have called it sexist. CNN would have brought in 6 analysts to cry about tone and all this other stuff. But because he's on that team, the story disappears. Now, I want to show y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, because he's on our team. See, look, he got me over here tripping. What's going on? Got me out here trying to convert us to some Democrats, y'all. Now, I want to take y'all back to a time where Biden said prices fell. Y'all remember this? If you don't, man, I'm definitely about to jog your memory.
Overall prices fell last month. Core inflation is the lowest it's been in 3 years. Prices are falling for cars, appliances, and airfares. Grocery prices have fallen since the start of the year. We're going to keep working to take down corporate greed to bring those prices down further.
Now, quick fact check. It says prices were up 20.1% since Biden took office, and inflation was still above 3% for 39 months in a row. He said prices went down, but you and I both know the only thing that was going down, and that's the value of you and my money. That was the only thing. Our brain cell capacity when dealing with all that was going down. Now we got gas cheaper, but at the time, gas wasn't cheaper. Rent was still breaking your neck. Groceries cost double for those for the same bags that you have to, you know what I'm saying? And if things are getting cheaper, why were people still broke and feeling broke? That ain't deflation. That's disrespect. Oh, man. And that month-to-month drop that Biden actually tried to brag about. It's like dropping a penny after you've already stolen $1. It doesn't fix anything, okay? Now, I want to give y'all a flashback real quick. Here's where the gaslighting started, all right? I want y'all to take a good look at this video. Prepare yourself, because Biden's whole team spent 2 years lying to us saying inflation was transitory and that it would pass. Yeah.
I really doubt that we're going to see an inflationary cycle.
It will have a temporary or transitory impact.
The faster than expected increase in some of those prices is actually a good sign.
The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down.
No one's talking about this great,
This is something that will settle down.
Transitory.
Most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. It's highly unlikely that's going to be long-term inflation that's going to get out of hand. I don't know anybody who's worried about inflation.
Over the last couple of months, we actually saw it trended downward.
President Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, enthusiastically retweeted an economist who had said in part most of the economic problems we're facing, inflation, supply chains, et cetera, are high-class problems.
The number one thing that the president can do is help get COVID under control. That we know is the root cause of inflation.
President Biden this afternoon saying he thinks we're at the peak of the crisis right now and that lower prices are on the way.
The inflation has everything to do with the supply chain. Make no mistake, inflation is largely the fault of Putin.
If you want to get rid of inflation, the only way to do it is to undo a lot of the Trump tax cuts.
Our inflation rates are lower than other nations in the world.
The inflation we're seeing is due to the pandemic.
When inflation hit a new high last week, the administration of President Biden called the numbers out of date.
I just want to say a number. 0. Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation.
When I hear people talk about inflation, as I heard him there, we have to change that subject. Inflation is a global phenomenon.
Whew. I'm glad we made it through that clip. This is how it all started, y'all. You seen all yelling, Patsky, Biden, Pelosi, all calling inflation temporary at the time. And they weren't wrong by accident. They were wrong on purpose. And when the fire started burning, they just started pointing the fingers. Y'all know how to go. Putin, I don't even want to say the word, but 19, the vid, greedy corporations, Trump, the weather, anything but themselves that was pointing the finger at. They didn't misjudge inflation, man. They ignored it while it drowned us. They printed nearly $2 trillion, dumped it on top of the broken supply chain, and then had the nerve to sit there and tell us it's fine. That's like lighting a match at a gas station and my fault, my mic. I said that's like lighting a match at a gas station and asking what's fire. Now, even Democrats don't believe anymore. Even CNN couldn't hide this one, y'all. Yeah. Their own poll show Democrats don't believe their own party anymore. Oh, wow. We were so surprised.
How Americans sort of see the parties. Which party is better described as the party with strong leaders? Look at this.
Wow.
16% of Americans say Democrats. 40% say that of the Republican Party. Now, overall, no party's doing great. Lots of Americans say neither of these qualities apply to either party. But look at how much worse off the Democrats are. A party that gets things done. Only 19% of Americans say that about the Democrats. 36% say it about the Republicans. In fact, the only place that the Democrats are numerically ahead, party of the middle class, this is basically a tie, though.
Yeah.
34% say that of Democrats. 32% say that of Republicans. But this, I think, is the most fascinating. How do partisans talk about their own party? Right? So among Democrats and Democratic leaners, 32% say Democrats are the party with strong leaders. I mean, of their own kind, right? 82% of Republican leaders say that about the GOP. Only 41% of Democrats say they're the party that gets things done of their own kind. And I will just say, 51%, Manu, a majority of Democratic and Democratic leaners say neither party gets the party that gets things done attribute. Imagine that's the project that Democrats are working on.
Yeah, and beyond the issues here, there's some structural problems with the Democrats as well.
There are. And again, this is where we ended up on election night in 2024. This is by county.
16% say Democrats have strong leaders. 19% say they get things done. But 59% says that of their own party says that Democrats failed to deliver. And mind you, that's not Fox News. That's not conservatives. That's CNN reporting Democrats admitting that their side ain't getting it done. Keep that in mind. I tell y'all all the time, if your own team booing you, you ain't the leader. You are the problem. Because Democrats love to say they fighting for the people. But the own people say, we don't trust y'all no more. Man, what happens when the media's fake applause can't drown out the silence in the real world anymore? We call that, thank you, Trump. Appreciate it. Now, Blue MAGA. Democrats now have this copycat move they got going on because they can't seem to find an identity. And now, this is how you know they lost. All right. They mocked MAGA for years. And now they're trying to be it. What?
MAGA. Blue MAGA. No, seriously. Democrats are asking themselves, quote, could Blue MAGA revitalize the party? Democrats are admitting Trump was right about everything.
Nobody comes out looking better than Donald Trump and the MAGA right. Because the things that they were saying, the things that they were accusing the left of, the things that they were accusing legacy media of, whether it's true or not, they look right. They look like they were on point.
Democrats have never admitted we were right about anything. And now they're admitting we were right about everything. They don't even know how to take that. It's never happened before. We're all saying, you got us. We lied.
Democrats just spent 4 years arguing that the border was fine, inflation was not a problem, and Joe Biden was up to the job. And I think that 4 years of that message was really harmful. I think there are a lot of reasons why there are crises in confidence in the news media, in Democratic Party, in institutions. And I think all of it needs to be hashed out, acknowledged, and discussed. Problematic when people run for prosecutor and promise to go after a specific politician. And both Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, and Alvin Bragg, the District Attorney of New York, both of them did that. And that, to me, is problematic because you're not saying this is the offense and we need to bring justice to this perpetrator. You're saying, I'm going to go after him. And I think that there was a degree to which that was tolerated by the media writ large.
You were the media. What are you talking about? You talking about? Do you think it was tolerated by it? What? You were part of that. What are we saying, Tapper? They said Trump was you was a part of it. Trump was a threat. It's a threat to democracy. Now y'all still in the border policies, using his economic talking points and calling it Blue MAGA. Nah, bro. Y'all ain't got no leadership. That's copy paste with a sad filter, in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. You don't copy what you hate. You copy what works. Think about that. Spent all since 2016. MAGA is evil. MAGA is this, MAGA is that. But when it's time to try to win again, MAGA suddenly sounds smart to them. Come on, man, get out of my face. If Trump is so wrong, why is the left quoting him basically without giving him credit? It makes no sense, man. Makes absolutely no sense. Biden out here doing the worst, man. Oh, was out here doing the worst. I'm sorry. They told y'all prices were falling. Why they were up 20%. Keep that in mind. They told you inflation would pass, and thank God for Trump. They said MAGA was dangerous. And now they wearing Blue MAGA, trying to coin this whole Blue MAGA thing. And through it all, the media is continuing. The left is trying to stay silent through it. Now I'm trying to tell y'all, if this was a Republican, CNN would be out their house. But there's not. So they pretend nothing is happening. But we saw it. We ain't pretending anymore. If you felt this, man, share it. Don't wait for the media to tell your story. We are the media now. Be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.